Today I'm going to teach you the meanings and uses of the verb get, the most versatile, ubiquitous, powerful, magical verb. Well, it's a useful verb anyway. So thank you for joining me again To The Point English with Ben, with me, Ben Gill. So if someone were to ask me to recommend one verb that would take their level from B1 or B2 to C1 or C2, so from intermediate to advanced, then I would recommend the verb to get. It's an extremely useful verb. Native speakers use it a lot in many situations and contexts, and it really can level up your English. So today we're going to be looking at the main meanings and uses of get. But this is the first video of a series of videos, and in future videos I'll be looking at phrasal verbs with get and common expressions with get. So I recommend you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss those videos and other videos I'll be making in the future. So let's look at the first meaning of get. And this one is probably the most common, so I'm starting with the most common. And this is when we use get with an adjective or the past participle of a verb, and it basically means to become. So it means that it's referring to a change in state. So let's look at some examples. So to get tired. So here the adjective is tired. So to get tired, it's the process from not being tired to being tired. So it's the change in state. First you are not tired, later you are tired, but in the middle there's the process of getting tired. So an example sentence, I usually get tired at about 8 o'clock in the evening. Okay, other examples, to get old. So again, I'm getting old. I'm not old yet, but I'm not young either, so I'm getting old. It's the change in state from young to old. Okay, to get fit. So somebody who is unfit and later is fit, but in the middle you have the process of getting fit. So change in state again. So to get lost, that's a very common mistake people say. They say, I lost in Barcelona. No, you can't. As a verb you can't use it to lose. You lose an object, but you can't lose yourself. You get lost in a city that you don't know, for example. So to get better, to get rich. And these last two, to get dressed and to get married, so they're with the past participle forms of the verbs. So in this case it is possible, yes, to say to dress or to marry, but it's very formal and we don't use it in normal English. We usually say to get dressed. So I get dressed in the morning. Again, it's a change in state. I'm not dressed, later I am dressed, but the process to get dressed. Again, to get married, the person is not married and then they are married, so they get married. So a couple more common examples. To get drunk. So he usually gets drunk on Saturday night. To get excited. Don't get excited. Calm down. Don't get excited. There are so many adjectives with get that just make it into a verb phrase to refer to a change in state. Okay, the next meaning. So it's simply to receive. It's literally a synonym of to receive. But again, receive is a little formal, it's a little bit more formal. So anything you receive, you can use to get in a more colloquial and more familiar sense. So it's very simple. To get a letter, to get an email, receive a letter, receive an email. To get a WhatsApp. I find it difficult to pronounce that word, I don't know why. I want to say WhatsApp, but it's WhatsApp. So to get a present, get a notification. If you click that bell and subscribe, you get the notification for my videos. To get praise. So when somebody says something good about you, maybe your boss says, well done, that was a great job you did the other day. That's praise. So you're receiving praise. You're getting praise. And get a delivery. So in the modern world, we are receiving so many things. This is a very useful verb to use, to get something, to receive something. Okay, the next meaning. So here, as you can see, I have two meanings. To get as in obtain or buy. You may say they're two different verbs. Of course they're two different verbs, but they basically have the same meaning when used as get, and I will explain why. So the first example is to get a car. So you may ask, well, why don't we just say to buy a car? Yeah, well, in English that's a little bit too specific. It's a little bit too direct. If we use the verb to buy, we're talking about money. Then you're making the assumption that that person bought the car with money. Probably they did, but it's not necessary to be so direct. So really you're asking, where did you obtain that car? So that's why obtain and buy with get, they kind of overlap. Similarly, to get something to eat or drink, really you're probably buying something to eat or drink, but maybe not. To get a coat is to buy a coat, but again, maybe not. Maybe it was a present. So to say buy, it's very specific, it's not necessary. So more with obtain, to get permission. So I need to get permission from my boss to leave work early. So I need to obtain permission. To get a job. A couple of just expressions used on their own is we should often say to get a life. Like it can be used as a bit of an insult, you know, so you're boring, or you have no interest. Get a life, come on, do something. And get help. So if you need help, if you're in an emergency situation, you need to get help. Okay, the next meaning, again, a simple synonym, it's arrive. So get often means arrive. So some examples. So get to work. So an example sentence, what time do you usually get to work? So I usually get to work at 8:30 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning. So to get home, get there, non-specific, to get there. So maybe you're speaking to your friends and you say, I'm sorry, I'm running late, but I'll get there as soon as possible. So to get back using the adverb back, it means to return to the place you were before. So to arrive to the place you were before. Get to the meeting, get to Barcelona, many possible examples with arrive. Okay, the next meaning, get can be a synonym for catch. Not always, because really the main meaning of catch is to catch something in the air, so to catch a ball. But in the more figurative meanings, we can use as a synonym get. So to get transport, to get public transport, to get the bus or get a flight, to get the metro, to get a train, to get a taxi, and also to catch an illness, to catch a contagious illness, so to catch a cold, to catch a virus. Okay, the next meaning. So get can mean to understand. Very common example is to get the joke. So imagine you're at a party with friends, and my examples always seem to be at a party with friends, but anyway, you're at a party and a friend tells a joke. Everybody laughs except you. And you say, I don't get it. I don't get the joke. So maybe you understand all the words, you understand everything your friend said, but you don't understand why it's funny. You don't get the joke. Similarly, I don't get what you're saying. Maybe I'm trying to explain a complicated grammatical concept, and my students don't get what I'm saying. They don't really understand it. We often just say, get it. I don't get it, but I don't understand it in general. It's very common just to say to get it. And to get the meaning, again, understand the meaning, or get the point and get the idea. So again, get the point, get the idea, they're very similar. Just basically to understand exactly what somebody is trying to explain or express. Now, this is the difficult one. I saved the best for last in some ways. So it's get, meaning to have someone do something for you. This is a very difficult concept to get or to understand for non-native speakers, but it's very important and you need to understand it. So let's look at the examples. To get your hair cut. This is probably the most common use of this meaning of get. To get your hair cut. So many times I arrive to a class and my student will say, did you cut your hair? And I'm a little bit offended by that. I say, does it look terrible? Does it look like I cut my own hair? No, I didn't cut my hair. I got my hair cut by the hairdresser. So it's very important to differentiate, because if you say I cut my hair, then you do it yourself. You look in the mirror, maybe 2 mirrors, and you cut your own hair. But to get your hair cut is that somebody else, another person, did it for you. To get your car repaired, for example, I'm terrible with cars, I have no idea, I'm not a mechanic, so I need to take my car to a mechanic, to a garage, to get my car repaired. So again, if I say I need to repair my car, then the person I'm speaking to will think, you can repair cars, you're good with cars. But no, I'm not, so I need to get my car repaired. So a couple more examples here. To get your nails done. So women go to a manicurist to get their nails done. Some women do it themselves, they do their own nails. But to get their nails done, they go to a professional to do it. And to get a massage. Again, maybe you can massage yourself, but it's not the same. So it's better to get your body massaged by a masseuse. Get your photograph taken. Many examples of get in this sense. But it's often I often notice with my students it's the most difficult one to understand, really, because often there is no equivalent in their language. Now you may be thinking, what about achieve as a synonym of get? And yes, often achieve can be a synonym of get, but really it's the same as obtain. So when we talk about to get a promotion, many people think it's to achieve a promotion, but to get an award, yes, it's like to achieve, but really it's obtain. So I would put that in the same category as to obtain. So yeah, don't forget, if you like the video, then please like the video, subscribe if you want to get the notifications for more of my videos. As I said, this is a series. So thank you very much for joining me again. I'll see you in the next video, and take care.